U.S. officials are raising concerns about the potentially dwindling supply of air defense missiles. The concerns come after Trump weighed further strikes against Iran. ABC's Christian Cordero explains how one report estimates certain missile stockpiles have been reduced by 2/3, but the White House says it has what it needs.
More than 5 months after President Trump started a war with Iran, today new concerns over the U.S. supply of air defense missiles. A U.S. official confirms with ABC News that a report indicating 2 different types of interceptors, Patriot and THAAD missiles, have been reduced by at least half since the Iran war began in February. U.S. officials also note certain attack missiles are, quote, extremely low.
Well, the reports are concerning, and obviously that's why we need to do more to make sure that our military has the funding it needs.
President Trump, however, is dismissing the concerns, telling ABC News in a statement, quote, "We have far more munitions than anyone in the world and far more than we need," end quote. The White House did not answer when asked by ABC to provide an exact stockpile count specifically on Patriot and THAAD missiles. The president has also repeatedly and publicly brushed off Iran's military capabilities. Still, the Pentagon has announced several deals with defense contractors to boost the number of replacement missiles in the coming years.
So they realize that there is a limiting factor when it comes to the United States decision process, because if we do escalate, then obviously Iran is going to counterattack, and that's when these munitions issues become more problematic.
There's no high-speed production for these missiles, as each are built by hand and individually can take years to make. Christian Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Meanwhile, Iran is signaling it could be close to a potential agreement with Oman over a temporary route for commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran's deputy foreign minister says it wants the U.S. to end its naval blockade on Iranian ports, ease oil sanctions against the country, negotiate over Iran's frozen assets, and wants the U.S. to address instability in Lebanon. Today, Senator Mitch McConnell says he has been discharged from a rehabilitation center where he's been recovering from a fall. The 84-year-old Kentucky Republican added he will continue his recovery with intensive physical therapy at home. While at home, he plans to stay connected to his Senate staff and colleagues in the chamber. Today, the Senate Homeland Security Committee voted along party lines to hold Dr. Anthony Fauci in contempt of Congress. During his hearing last week, Fauci repeatedly pled the fifth. The hearing centered around the origins of COVID-19 and his handling of the U.S.'s national virus response. Senator Rand Paul claims Fauci lied about how COVID started and misled the public, which Fauci denies. Committee Democrats defended Fauci today and raised concerns about the precedent set if anyone is punished for invoking the Fifth Amendment.
The chairman is now asking the committee to take a vote that could harm our ability to conduct future investigations, all without making a reliable case that there is a legal basis for holding Dr. Fauci in contempt.
Dr. Fauci faced no risk of federal prosecution. All he had to do was tell the truth.
Fauci received a preemptive presidential pardon from Biden before he left office. The pardon does not protect Fauci from new charges under the Trump administration. The CDC says a salmonella outbreak from jalapenos linked to Chipotle and Qdoba is growing. Officials say 345 people have gotten sick in 27 states, not including Iowa. The peppers were grown in Mexico, and both restaurant chains have removed them from their menus. It comes as the ongoing cyclospora outbreak linked to recalled lettuce from Mexico expands to 15 states, including Iowa. In that outbreak, over 6,000 people have gotten sick, and 2 people died in Michigan. This all comes after budget cuts and staffing reductions across public health systems.
Funding cuts across the federal, state, and local levels that have affected our ability to prevent, detect, and investigate these foodborne illnesses.
And cases of a potentially deadly fungus have been detected in 27 states, including Iowa. According to the CDC, there are over 3,000 cases of Candida auris identified, with the most cases in California. The fungus is a type of yeast that can cause severe illness that's easily spread in healthcare facilities, but most infections can be treated. Food safety isn't the only concern. More water systems in the U.S. are under attack by hackers. An intelligence note indicated Iran may be behind the cyber attacks that have targeted utilities in over a dozen states. The hackers may have been scouting targets months in advance. Officials say so far the attacks have had no impact on drinking water, but the FBI is urging utilities to disconnect critical systems from the internet.